Darkcast Network, indie pods with a dark side.
Witchcraft, the occult, extremist beliefs, murder. Tune in to Rogue Darkness each Friday and join host Raven as I uncover horrific crimes committed under the misconceptions and misunderstandings of witchcraft and other belief systems. I'll cover a wide range of crimes involving ritualistic killings and extremist beliefs to cult persuasion and supposed possession. Anything and everything that borders the line of horrifying. There's always 3 sides to a story. Side A, Side B, and then the truth. Let's uncover the truth together and explore the darkness of mankind, one crime at a time. Available wherever you get your podcast fix, simply by searching Rogue Darkness.
Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Kelly.
You're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Destiny from Murder. All right, so with this episode, I got to give a warning. It contains sexual assault, some gruesome descriptions of murder, and thoughts of suicide. So,
holy crap.
Yeah, so there's a lot in this one. Since we're kicking off season 13 bigly.
Yes.
As some would say.
13, yeah.
Wild.
Wow, I can't believe we're doing season 13.
Yeah.
Right. And we're going to make it as 13-y as we can.
Yes. Each episode we're going to see.
13?
It is now.
I feel like
if we said it is.
Defines. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Make it 13-y. All right.
All right. I think this is pretty 13-y. So, okay. So we're heading to this. Nope, not a city. We're heading to the entire country of Italy. Yes, but this is in the spring of 1894.
Holy.
So historical.
Where did you get this information, man? Damn.
Oh my gosh. I was so lucky that somebody had written a book about this. So I was able to get a ton of good info.
I'm ready.
So we're there. It's the birth of Leonarda Cianciulli. Whew.
Okay.
I had to spell that out. So Leonarda was born as the result of a rape upon her mother, Amelia.
Wow.
Not a good way to start out life.
No.
No specific records show how old Amelia, her mom, was at that point, but she was either likely a teen or early 20s adult.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
I'm sure at that point she was considered an adult, unfortunately. Yeah. But
true. And Amelia, she's this woman of nobility. She's beautiful and she's shielded from the hardships that many others face in the country at the time.
Well, she was up until then, man.
Yep.
Jeez.
Just until then. But she didn't know that she'd caught the eye of a rough lower class man named Mariano Cianciulli.
Oh.
So while at a party with friends, Amelia, she's kind of looking for a potential suitor, because she's at that age. She didn't realize she'd been followed by a stalkerish, stocky, gross man.
Okay.
Yeah. So Mariano, he watched as Amelia walked home alone, and he hid in the bushes until he had the opportunity to grab her. Struck seemingly out of nowhere and pulled Amelia to a field where she was assaulted and left alone bleeding in the dark field.
Oh, jeez.
I know. And how scary. It's scary enough. But for her, she'd been brought up in a strict Catholic family and had been so protected from a lot of talk, including talking of sex. She had no idea even what happened to her. Oh, she was so overprotected. Yeah. She didn't really understand, and she didn't know what it could result in. She didn't even know how babies are born, I don't think.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
I know.
Yeah. This is a rude awakening into all of these things.
Yeah. So she believed somehow she must have brought on the attack on herself, and that if anyone found out, she'd be in trouble. Like maybe she put herself in harm some way. Like maybe she shouldn't have gone to that party. I don't know what the deal was.
Yeah. Self-blame, victim self-blame.
Yeah.
Goes back a long way.
It goes so back. And at this time, oh man, I'm so glad we didn't live at this time. Because, so her religion had taught her that unmarried sex is a terrible sin. She's kind of figuring out what happened to her. She realizes she's got to keep this secret. However, her body soon reveals secret for her. She can't.
Yeah, her body's like, we don't do secrets.
No, we're going to show this secret. So the attack had left her pregnant. She had to tell her family what happened. Unfortunately, her parents reacted as she was fearing. And part of it was because Mariano's low class, like he's low social status.
Okay.
So they think even worse of her. Like she chose this to happen.
Right. Like not only was I raped, but I chose the person to rape me to be like, I should have chosen someone higher class.
Yeah. Their disgust with her is bad enough, but Amelia's parents went far beyond what she expected they would. They called Mariano's family and insist the two get married.
No, I don't like this guy, man.
No. So
I didn't like him before, and now I really don't like him.
And now she's got to be with the man who assaulted her.
I wondered when you said their last names, and I was like,
yeah, I did leave the Cianciulli.
Did they have Well, no, I knew that the daughter, Leonarda, had the last name, but I thought, well, maybe she just still used the last name of the father.
The dad. Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
I know. So painful. So Mariano, he's like thrilled because he's been obsessed with Amelia.
Oh, great.
She's
Here's
terrified.
Your reward for this.
Right.
Fantastic.
Men got rewarded for this kind of behavior. So Amelia's like many girls. She had dreamed all her life about having a beautiful and elegant wedding to the man of her dreams. But hers is drab and sad and just a quick formality to take care of the problem. Quickly after, I mean, she's from a higher social class. You'd think they'd treat her at least like, okay, we're going to take care of you. But no, quickly after, her family disowns her for bringing shame upon them.
Oh, dear Lord.
And Mariano's just as awful as you expect he would be. So he's abusive. He's a total loser. He barely worked. Yeah. And Amelia hated everything about him, including the baby, because it was a part of him.
Right.
Yeah. So
this is when her life went downhill.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that poor baby.
I know.
Not the baby's fault.
Had no choice in the matter. So the baby is Leonarda. So after she's born, Amelia's attitude doesn't change. Like you'd think once she saw the baby and
she
touched her, but she did not try to bond with her at all. She kept her as far away as she could. She never bonded with her, and to make it worse, she became horribly abusive to the baby.
This is a wonderful story, Kelly.
I know. You're welcome.
Wow.
Bringing you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just physical, but mental also. I mean, this poor girl.
Yeah.
So she's
growing. From the moment she was born, she wasn't wanted.
So she's growing up in this horrid household with a hateful mother and a drunk father. Because of course he's a drunk.
Right. Wonderful.
So Leonarda wished to die.
Okay.
She's only like 13 at this point. She grew up with severe depression, had attempted suicide twice before reaching adulthood.
Jeez.
The worst part of it is her callous bitch of a mother, although I don't want to call her that because she went through shit too, but obviously she became one. Anyway,
right, okay.
She told her how disappointed she was that Leonarda was unsuccessful in her attempts to kill herself.
Oh, her suicide? Wow.
Right? I mean, how low can you go? Somebody's already at their lowest, and she
at their lowest, and she's like, "Wow, you couldn't even do that. That's awful. That's just so.
It's so sad." So Mariano, her dad, he's away often, and on one occasion when he does come home, Amelia takes Leonarda to go look for him. Or when he doesn't come home, he did return home.
Okay.
They go looking for him, and they find him at his favorite watering hole, passed out. So they physically drag him home, where he remains unconscious. Lay him down in a bed, but he never wakes up again.
Oh, so, he drank himself to death?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. He was like in a coma and then just never woke up. So Amelia's like, yes, she's relieved. Her abuser is gone. And fortunately, she's still young and she's a beautiful woman. So she easily bags a new one.
You couldn't get divorced then? So like,
right.
This was her only hope of getting out of this situation was
so
she dies.
Like, oh, yes, he's
right.
Dead.
Yeah.
So Leonarda, she's also relieved because
she wasn't
thrilled
all that
with him either.
Right.
Yeah, but she's much more relieved because Amelia finds a new husband that keeps her mom busy and her mind occupied. So she leaves Leonarda alone.
Hallelujah. Yeah. All right.
So Amelia's new husband, he made some money, but Amelia really wanted to get back to her high status that she'd grown up with.
Then she should have married into high status.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So she decided she could basically sell off Leonarda, her daughter, to a wealthy husband. So then they could all be in a better financial situation.
So
Yeah.
rather than marry someone herself at a higher
Mhm.
status, she would sell her daughter for
Right.
higher status.
Right. Why not?
Wow.
I mean, the
She
1800s did not
is,
sound fun.
wow.
So, but it might have helped if she had shared this plan with Leonarda, which
Oh,
she
that would have been
didn't.
nice.
But she didn't. And Leonarda was already meeting potential suitors herself because she's like, I'm going to escape this hellhole. Yes.
You know, it's really sad that Amelia was so upset because she didn't have a choice about who she married. And now she's
Yeah.
doing the exact same damn thing.
Totally. Totally. And abusing her daughter basically how her parents did. Raphael Pansardi was much older than Leonarda and he held
Ew.
an ordinary job. Yeah. Ew. Pretty
Right.
normal for the time, I think.
Right.
But he actually treated Leonarda so kindly and in a way that no one else had that she falls in love with him right away. And they decide
Well,
to,
that's kind of nice.
yeah, she's finally getting treated how she's always wanted to. And they decide to get married. But this enrages Amelia, her mother. She
Oh,
can't
because
sell
this
her
wasn't
off
the
now.
guy. Oh,
No.
because this
And he's
wasn't
not
Amelia's
a high
guy.
standing, no,
Shit.
he's not some high society dude. So
Uh,
she's so angry that she tells Leonarda that she placed a curse on her and that her marriage and kids and any of her future was ruined because of this curse. And
she pulled out a curse. She just
she
had
just,
one in her back pocket. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All
Yeah.
right.
And so she said, you've ruined my life a second time. You did the first time by being a baby. And
how dare you?
How dare you be born?
Right.
And now you've done it again. So Leonardo is like, whatever, I'm leaving. I don't care. I'm finally done. She leaves to go create a new life. Yes. So she never saw her mother again, which is good.
Oh, thank God.
But a lifetime of torture at Amelia's hands left their mark on her psyche, as it would, of course.
Well, yeah.
She
didn't need to put a curse on her. She
No,
already had
cursed her.
the
Right.
mental anguish and the,
Right.
oh my God.
Yeah, she didn't need to go that far. So Leonarda has no self-esteem. She's feeling like she fails at everything.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. She'd always been treated so poorly that she's sure her husband would turn at any point. She's waiting for the other shoe to drop. She's like,
Gotcha.
okay, he's nice
This
now.
This is too good to be true.
Yeah, but something's going to happen. But Raphael, he remains kind. He's loving.
Raphael and Leonarda, like Leonardo, like Leonardo, not DiCaprio.
Yes, the painter,
yes.
Da Vinci. Are you thinking?
And then yes, Da Vinci and Raphael.
Raphael.
Right. Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry.
Get your pizza delivered.
Right.
And
okay,
it's Italy, so pizza.
I'm like, interesting. The names. Okay,
totally. So Raphael, he's actually super great to her. He's loving, he's kind. And while Leonardo is struggling to accept and understand it, because she's never been treated this way, she suffers such terrible mental anguish from her childhood, probably PTSD, that the stress causes her seizures, which had begun in childhood.
Oh my God.
I know.
Okay, I can understand it in childhood, but it didn't get any better getting out of the situation. That's too bad.
Guessing it's either she did have something like a brain condition, epilepsy or something, but the stress made it.
Stress and mental anguish and untreated mental illness can eventually your body
right. It's got to shut down. It's got to shut you down so that it can heal.
Exactly. It's like, you're not paying attention. Like you're not helping. So we're going to have something more physical happen to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to emergency. Yeah. So that's what she's having. And she's suffering so much with this mental illness. And she's constantly crying and cowering in fear. She's just so traumatized.
This poor woman.
I know. But Raphael, he's determined to help her. He's going to stay by her side. So he couldn't afford a doctor to help. He knew that that's what she needed, but it didn't really matter to Leonarda. She's sure that it's her mother's curse causing all this, and there's no outrunning it.
I mean, in a way,
it is. I know, right? Yeah. So when Leonarda saw Romanian people coming through, and I think, they were a lot of gypsies and fortune tellers with the Romani people. And she decided, okay, I'm going to go visit one of these fortune tellers for help. And she asked them, am I doomed to die from this curse my mom placed on me? But the fortune teller's like, no, not at all. You're fine. But she's studying her palms, and she says, you'll live a long life, but it's going to be filled with sadness, and you'll outlive all your children.
Oh,
I was,
God.
what? No.
Never mind. Then I don't want a long life. Thank you.
Never
No, thank you.
mind. Oh,
Oh,
I'm glad the psychics today just make up happy shit or whatever.
wow.
But yeah. So Leonarda had always wished to have kids. That was like one of her life streams. And this so-called news crushes her.
Yeah.
Raphael's, he's like trying to convince her it's just a story. The teller's just saying this. She's trying to make money. Don't put so much stock in it. He does everything he can to help her. He showers her with love. He just sounds like a really good guy.
Gosh.
And eventually she starts to perk up and come around. So
Okay.
3 years into their marriage, in 1920, it's now,
Okay.
Leonarda becomes pregnant. Instead
I'm
of
kind of really surprised it took 3 years.
it took so long, right?
Because it's not like they had birth control.
No, yeah. And
Wow.
she was thinking she might not have been able to have kids because it was taking a while. But she gets pregnant, and she's not excited or happy. She's scared. She's like overcome with worry, thinking, okay, I'm going to lose this baby. I just know it. And her mental sickness took a hit, and the seizures began worse than ever. So she's falling down a lot because of the seizures. Ends up losing the baby and miscarrying. Of course. I mean, it's like
there's a bit of self-fulfilling prophecy happening there.
Yes, which is so stressful. Like, stop. And I'm sure for Raphael, he's just like, oh my God, what can you do? So of course she's like, okay, yep, the curse is doing its job. I'm doomed. So the couple decide they're going to move away, maybe get away from her mom, the area that her mom's at. We're going to move away.
This curse has a radius.
Yeah.
So you just have to get out of the.
Just need to get out of the fallout area. So they moved to a whole different town. Okay, so in 1922, the couple is thrilled when Leonarda gives birth to a healthy baby. So,
oh, thank goodness, she made it all the way through. All right, good.
Made it all the way through with this one. His name is Giuseppe.
Oh, it wasn't like Donatello or.
I know they gave up on the turtle.
What was the last turtle?
Michelangelo.
Yeah, Michelangelo. Yeah, they missed opportunity. Oh well.
I mean, if only they'd known.
Right, Giuseppe. We'll go with Giuseppe.
Giuseppe. Okay. So Leonarda, she doted over her baby. She was so happy to have him. She tried to keep him safe from everything, including the dreaded curse.
It's okay. They're out of the radius now. It's okay.
I know.
Now.
You'd think you're okay. You'd think.
And you had go to the town's border.
Right.
You cross the border. It's all good now.
Past. You're fine. Right. You're fine. But instead of easing off on her son as he became a toddler, she became even more overprotective. And as he grew older, he's like, all these kids are playing outside. Can I go play? And she's like, no, you need to stay in,
Just like she went overboard. The opposite way. Oh,
beyond helicopter mom. She wouldn't let him
this woman doesn't have any healthy boundaries.
Examples.
She doesn't have any healthy
No, she has no idea how to do this correctly.
Oh, geez.
So poor little Giuseppe, he loves his mom so much and he tries to keep her happy, but he really wishes he could be.
I just want to friggin' go outside, man.
I just want to be a normal boy. So, meanwhile, the family.
A real little boy. A real little boy.
Like Pinocchio.
Right.
So the family, they're not doing so well financially. Their money's dwindling. Raphael's only making enough to keep food on the table.
Yikes.
So they decide together, okay, Leonarda needs to work, and help out. So it's difficult for her to find a job, though, because she has no experience.
I was going to say, what can she do?
Right. So the only work she could get are very menial things at the time, like cleaning. And it barely paid and had grueling hours. So
totally worth it then.
Yeah. So she's doing that. She's trying to make money and she gets pregnant again, but she miscarries. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. But I was sitting there going, how are they going to feed another person?
Right.
Okay.
But she's desperate. She really wants more kids. And so they keep trying and they have more and more and more miscarriages. They just keep happening. So Leonarda's clinging to Giuseppe even more fiercely.
God,
this is my
Giuseppe
miracle baby.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. She's so afraid he's going to die because she's had all this terrible luck.
Smother him with love. She's becoming a smother.
She is. She's a smother. Yeah.
She's a smother.
Eventually, she's able to carry another baby to term, this time a little girl. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it happens again, and she gives birth to a set of twins. So
Oh my.
she's had all of these great births, but she's still not putting her guard down. She's sure the curse is around the corner. It's going to strike again. Okay.
Are
So
any of these children allowed to see daylight?
no, I
Any
don't
of
think
them?
so.
Any of
I
them
think
go
they are
outside?
still all in the basement awaiting the
Oh
day.
God. Okay.
So she's right to stay on guard, though, because her eldest daughter begins getting sick. And then her
No.
second daughter.
Because she hasn't had any vitamin D in her life. She's never seen
She
the
wants to go
sun.
outside. Let her have some friends.
She needs fresh
So,
air.
yeah, first daughter, then the second daughter, one of the twins
Oh,
gets sick.
jeez.
And it sounds like they both had pneumonia, but they have no money. Apparently, you can't go see a doctor there without any money at that time.
Okay. You can't see a doctor without money. When was
So,
penicillin wasn't a thing
no,
yet, right?
I don't think so. And so all they could do is try to help them clear their coughs and hope
right.
they get better. And the stress of the sick kids, they make Leonardo's own health go down. So
Oh,
Raphael's here watching helpless as all of his loves of his life
they're
are
all going
suffering.
down. Oh my God.
So you'd think things couldn't get any worse. But then the couple's younger son begins getting a terrible rash. I'm guessing maybe pox of some sort. I don't know. But
yeah, right. Could be
his little body couldn't take it and he dies.
Oh.
Soon after, the two sick girls also die.
Oh. So now she's down to miracle baby again?
She's down to miracle baby again.
Oh, this is not going to be good for her mental health. Oh my God.
Nope. So she has buried 3 children almost all at once, and she falls into deeper and deeper depression. So
oh God, the
I know.
fortune teller shit is coming true.
I know. It's like,
no.
It's so creepy.
Oh God.
So Raphael, he's doing everything he can to help. And he's not giving up on Leonarda. He's trying to convince her, okay, let's just try for more babies. You know, we can do this. And so she carries 5 more baby boys to term. So
5 more. That's 6 boys.
Yeah. However,
that's a lot of boys.
So many boys.
That's so many boys.
So much peeing.
Oh my God. Their bathroom is never clean. Ever.
No,
ever.
Just go outside, kids. But then they'd have to go outside and then they would be unsafe.
Oh yeah, they can't do that. So they have to pee inside. It's nothing but
maybe
jokes about there's nothing but jokes about butts and nuts and
and farting.
And farting. Oh my God. Okay.
However, all 5 of the babies die before they pass childhood or toddlerhood.
Oh, get
all
out.
5. Giuseppe's still the only one.
Okay, I got to tell you, I'm starting to believe the curse.
I know.
This is a little.
No, it's a little
I understand medical science was not where it is now.
No.
But this is.
Right. But this is beyond. Like,
this is nuts.
So obviously in that time, you'd be like, well, what else could it be?
That's 9
gotta be this.
Freaking kids.
Horrible. Horrible. Plus all the miscarriages.
Oh my God.
I know. So Leonardo, she said she had nightmares like nightly about tiny white coffins being swallowed up by the earth.
Oh dear God. That's horrible.
Even sleep, she can't get away from. Ugh.
Yeah.
But she keeps trying. And so she goes and gets a job at a bank. She's a cleaning lady for the bank.
For the bank.
So
okay.
And she cleans at nights. So she's by herself there. She's required to bring her own cleaning supplies. Fuckers.
What? They can't even supply their own.
I know. And the family
doesn't gotta lug that shit. That's
yeah.
Weird.
And the family doesn't have enough money to like buy a bunch. So barely enough to even feed their family. So Leonarda, she begins to learn how to make her own supplies. She learns how to make her own soap.
Oh, that's resourceful.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's actually becomes really, really good at soap making. So that's kind of healthy. That helps. But even though they're both working.
She couldn't turn that into a little business where she made her own soaps?
I mean, yeah. Even though they're both working the pair, they're just like one mishap away from being destitute. They have so little money. So she's there. She's working in a bank alone at night. There's a lot of money around.
Oh, boy.
I know.
And that's the perfect time for a break-in, too.
Yeah.
But she's also doesn't have any money and there's a lot. It's just there.
Yeah. It's just all around her.
They didn't have like a big solid vault thing like we do now, right?
I don't know how they did it then. And they obviously didn't have computers or things
alarms.
like that. So
Oh, there wasn't like an overnight guard or anything. Like she was there by herself. No one's watching this
No
shit at
one's,
night.
it's just a little town. So I don't think they assume anything will happen.
But still, man. Oh
I
my
know.
God. That's kind of
But
interesting.
she kind of does it an interesting way that you would think she could get away with it. She goes into one of the bank offices where she creates a fake account in one of the ledgers because everything's just handwritten, right?
Oh shit. Yeah.
So she does that, and she transfers what looks like a ton of money into it. Basically, I don't know how,
Okay.
and then she puts everything back as if nothing had
Okay.
happened. She's hoping for the best, like maybe nobody will notice. There's this brand new account with a bunch of money in it.
Okay.
But her plan backfires. She shows up for work the next day and she's arrested and charged with fraud. So
Oh.
even worse, her actions put her husband's reputation in jeopardy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So Leonarda is horrified
No.
that her husband could be
So
affected.
she didn't even steal money. She just made herself an account. She
I
didn't even
think so. Yeah.
It was like the start of fraud. She didn't
Yeah.
even
She
follow
didn't even get
through.
the money really yet.
Ooh.
Yeah. So now
Damn.
she's horrified. Her husband could be affected by her actions. So she's making sure tell everyone he had nothing to do with this. It was all me.
Right.
I made the mistake. So she's convicted of fraud in 1927 and faced 18 months in prison. And
Eey.
she's also pregnant for the 10th time.
Oh. No.
But she loses the baby probably because of all the stress.
Well,
So
I mean, that's
it's kind of a given.
I'm not really surprised at that
sucks.
one at all.
No, but she's torn about it.
What is she going to do? She's going to have the baby in prison? I mean, I can't
know.
imagine that at that time. I can't.
Well, yeah. And their prisons didn't house that many women back then. It was very rare. So she's sent to a nunnery to serve her time. And the nuns are not nice to the women that are sent there.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
So they're treated a little better than scum and probably beat, I'm guessing.
Wow, that's how very not none of them.
Like,
yeah, very not.
I'm not sure exactly, but it sounds like it was pretty bad. So,
although, when nuns taught Catholic school, they would slap kids with rulers and erasers and stuff. So
I think it was that
they are pretty tough.
They could be very tough and scary. Yeah.
Right.
And while this seemed like torture to a lot of the women, Leonarda's like not phased at all. She grew up with way worse.
A Tuesday.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's like, this is nothing. I don't know what you guys are complaining about.
They only beat me in the morning. I had the afternoon off. This is great.
Right? Right? Seriously. And so she's like so skilled at being obedient and staying under the radar.
I thought you were going to say she was so skilled at getting beat that it didn't faze her.
Basically.
She was so skilled at being abused that she was just like, I got this.
Yep. That she just was really good at making herself little, I think.
Yeah.
So she's let out early because of it.
Oh,
a few months.
Behavior. Okay.
However, while she's away, Raphael lost his job because of his tarnished reputation.
Oh, no.
Wife's actions. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And even though he'd been loving and kind since the beginning, when this happened, he'd kind of finally had it. And
I'm sure that was he's had a very exhausting life with her.
Gosh. So yeah, so his demeanor really changed when she comes back. And now
everyone has their breaking point.
Yeah. And now he's openly critical of her. And to Leonarda, he was her last safe space, basically.
Right.
So they once again decide, okay, let's start over again. Let's move away, thinking maybe we can have a fresh start.
We just got to get out of the curse radius. We didn't go far enough.
We didn't go far enough. We got to go farther. Yep. So they go to a small countryside town called Lacedonia.
Okay.
And
sounds nice.
It sounds pretty. Leonarda continues to get pregnant and she continues to have miscarriages.
Oh my
God.
But
eventually
just get off her, man. Just
like let her have Giuseppe and just be happy.
Stop.
Yeah. But at this point, oh yeah, she's able to have babies, 2 more healthy babies. So at this point, she's been
long?
I know.
Sorry,
and that's what she thinks. That's what she thinks. She's so scared. So at this point, she's been pregnant 16 times with only 3 that lived. I know. And no medicine back then. I mean, nothing to take the stress away. So
no. Okay.
But their move seems to be a great decision because Raphael gets a better paying job. And because of that, Leonarda can stay home with her kids. And things seem to be looking up. But Leonarda's still convinced, okay, the curse will get me soon. I mean, it keeps coming, keeps getting me.
It's like a fog. It just keeps spreading out further and further.
It just keeps coming.
Right.
So then there's another group of Romanis that are passing through the town. So she's
this was not a good idea the first time.
I really wish she hadn't gone this time because she decides, okay, I got to go see what they tell me my future is because I need to know. So the fortune teller sets her down, looks at one hand. Yes, in this hand, I see prison, looks at the other hand. And in this hand, I see an insane asylum for you. So now Leonarda's like, I'm fucked.
Oh my God. Well, was any of it in the past? She already went to prison.
Right. Can we just say, I already did all that. I know. Can I go to a different teller? This guy's not so nice.
No. Oh my God. Or an insane asylum.
So she's even more scared. So at the time of the reading, she's pregnant with her 17th child.
Oh, come on. Just stop. Oh my God.
Baby. So
oh my God.
She gives birth to a healthy baby boy. So now more boys.
Okay.
So now they have 4 kids. They all seem to be healthy. But Leonarda, she's still sure something horrible's coming her way. So she decides she needs to go on the offensive. All this time she's been on the defensive, just waiting for something to happen, right?
How do you go on the offensive?
Yeah, exactly.
What does that mean?
So she begins to go to every psychic she can. On the regular, she takes lessons in divination because she wants to tell her own future, be able to predict what's going to happen. I don't think
that's how that works, but okay. I don't think if you know how to read the future that you can
change it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Keep going.
I know. It's very confusing. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if we understand what it was like in those times.
This is her offense.
She also learns about herbs and charms and dives head deep into research so heavily into all these things like herbal concoctions, spells, reversing curses, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she's really grasping at straws, man.
She's really desperate. So she's researching night and day, so many hours that she begins to ignore her family that she's so hard trying to protect, right?
Okay.
But for her, she's feeling upbeat because she feels more control. Yeah, she feels like she's getting some control over
Never
something.
mind, the kids haven't had dinner and they're going to starve, but they won't be cursed.
I might have something to get this curse off of me. So,
oh my God. Okay.
So she thinks, okay, finally things are going to look up. I know how to fight this. However, disaster strikes again.
Just okay.
I know. It just keeps going.
This is like what am I thinking of? Like when I used to watch Days of Our Lives. It's like nobody has this much shit happen to them.
Their whole family, they attend an event, a festival that the whole town is super engaged in this little town. So
wait, she brought the kids outside?
They went outside. She's actually kind of easing up a bit and feeling like, okay, things are safer. I'm going to let them have a little bit of lives. Plus, she's so
she's feeling more in control.
Yeah, and she's so preoccupied with her research that she's not paying attention to much what they're doing. So they're actually able to get away a little bit. And it did talk about that. Yeah. So they go to this festival. It's in a large, like farmer's field.
Okay.
It's some sort of, I can't remember, might be a fall festival or something, but the whole town comes out. They dance to great music. And then the tradition is all the families stay and camp out there for the night in a big camp out. Kind of fun.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry, I'm laughing a little bit because I'm like, the whole town lives in houses all together.
Right.
They all pick up and they all still live all together in their own little tents.
Yep.
They just do it in a field. They just
exactly. They're just like, let's just go out here. But it's a good thing they did because in the middle of the night, an earthquake registering 6.6 on the Richter scale hits the town. Nearly every building and every home in town is wiped out.
Oh my God.
But because everyone went to the festival.
Oh shit, thank God everyone went to the festival.
Right. Barely any lives were lost. I think there were still a few, but incredible. So instead of seeing that
thing, everybody got up and went to the festival
Totally.
and stayed there. At first I was
Right.
like, that's so weird that everyone's going to stay there, but I
It's
get,
some
wow.
tradition or celebration. Yeah.
Did she not see that as a
No.
very non-cursy thing?
Nope. Instead of
mean,
seeing that, when you think like, oh my God, we're so lucky. Had we been
right.
home, we
I
all
had
would have died.
lifted the curse.
Right. No, she took it to mean that the curse had followed her, and now she hit the whole town is cursed because of her.
Oh, for the love of God, I can't.
She is
Some
devastated.
people are just glass
I know,
half
negative.
empty.
Yeah. She had a very negative
Debbie
view.
Downer.
Very
Wah,
much.
wah. Yeah.
Oh my God. So she thinks it's all her fault. She's devastated, feels so much guilt. So nothing's left of their home.
This curse has gotten huge. It's taken over the whole town.
Right. That's exactly what she thinks. So there's nothing left of their home or even buildings where Raphael worked. So they decide, okay, let's move again. So
we're just going to take this curse to see other people.
Yeah, we're going to go.
We're going to spread it. We're going to be our own
plague. We may as well. Yeah. We're our own plague. You're welcome. So they make their way to Correggio. I think
they're going to get a reputation. They're going to move in and people are going to be like,
we don't want you here.
Don't stay
I heard
here.
about you. Don't bring that shit our way.
Oh, shit. All right.
So they go to Correggio. I think that's how you say it. Correggio, where they are welcomed with open arms.
Because they hadn't heard of them.
No, yeah. And the townspeople had heard about this horrible disaster and they want to help whoever they can.
You didn't know it was our fault.
Yeah, it was us. It was me. So because of that, Raphael also gets a really great job because they want to help the family out.
Well, that's cool.
So now the bills are all being paid and they even have a little bit of money saved up.
Oh,
I know the 4 kids are doing great. And you'd think Leonarda would be like, big breath of air, relief. But
she's been taking control on the offense and it's working.
It's working. Yeah, see it as a positive. But she's still fiercely overprotective of her kids. She keeps them away from everything that can put them in danger. And yeah, it's like even worse than before. But now, little by little, with all the townspeople help, because they're so kind, she starts feeling better. So like any small town, people have squabbles here. And especially the women had a lot of infighting. So Leonarda is seen as a newcomer and seems to have really good advice, probably because of all the research she's done on psychic.
Oh, okay. So she's all right.
She's very good. They approach her for advice.
Maybe she's going to get some self-esteem.
Right.
A hint.
Right.
A touch.
Let's hope. She's hesitant at first to get too close to anyone because she's afraid she's going to bring the curse on
everyone I love dies.
Right. But then she starts to get attached more and more to all these women that come to her. She starts making very good friends.
Oh, God, she's made friends. Oh, no.
Made friends. Oh, shit. Yeah. So she and her husband, they're invited to parties, and Leonarda's starting to feel something like she never had, which is stability.
Stability.
She has some stability.
A sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And
people
maybe a little happiness.
For her. Yeah. And she's making a difference in people's lives.
Yay.
And she gifts a bunch of people her spectacular soaps. And her new friends encourage her to open a shop.
Like you said, I knew she should have done that.
Yeah. So she does. She opens one and she adds on what becomes the most popular attraction, which is psychic readings. Because she has become so good at reading people through these skills.
So,
you know how they develop those kind of
clean and learn about your future. It's like
scrub your soul and your body. Yeah.
Your soul and your body. All right. One-stop shop. Let's do it.
Everything. Do it. So she hones her skills. She dives deeper into the arts of the occult, believing it's the only way she can fight the curse, right?
Okay.
So she sells spells and treatments for sicknesses. But the weird thing is they actually work better than a lot of the medicine people.
They're going to say than the soap.
They're less smelly because of these spells, but I think it's probably she's using herbs and stuff that maybe medicine had forgotten,
Right. Okay.
However, it's now the 1930s and things are about to take the turn as the World War progresses. Or as they progress into a world war.
Right.
Mussolini is in power in Italy.
Oh, goody.
I know of all the people. So he's quietly dismantling democracy in the country. So much fun. And Italy is part of the axis of powers, as we know. And they're being pushed to be involved in the war. So this meant they needed soldiers, and they want them young and virile. And she has boys. Giuseppe.
She won't even let them go play outside.
But now
they want to hand him a gun and put him in war.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Giuseppe, he's actually studying at a local university in 1940. And there's all this propaganda full of lies and mistruths and spreading things like we've heard before. Be patriotic, save your country, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So Giuseppe, he likes what he hears. And he's like, yeah, I want to save my country. I love Italy. And
I want to get the hell out of this town and away from my mother.
That was the other. He was like, I kind of need to get away from my mom. So
I can leave home.
Yep. That was part of it.
She's
so he's desperate.
Never gonna let me go.
Yeah, exactly. And he loves her desperately, but he wants to be a strong grown man, and he needs his independence. So he doesn't tell his mom, but Leonarda is friends with everyone in town. So she gets wind of it. And she once again is terrified. And
can you imagine? She's just out chatting with friends and like, oh, I heard your son enlisted.
They did. Yep. They said something just like that. They were like, oh, how are you feeling about Giuseppe going to war? And she was like, what the fuck? The fuck you say?
I'm sure that went down great.
Yeah. She's sure he has signed his own death warrant. So she once again goes to her occult studies to attempt to save him.
Oh, okay.
She goes through all the research she could find, but she didn't like the direction she'd have to take to save his life. Each thing she dug up, she dug another, and all these answers kept coming back. But to save a life, one must take a life.
Oh.
And that was the answer she kept getting. So she's like, okay, I have no choice. It has to be done to save my miracle son.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she gathers herbs and oils. She creates a poison. All she has to do now is find a victim. So with her shop, there's all this access to so many people who shop with her, and they seek her magical services, of course. So
yeah, but aren't people, if someone dies with one of her things, doesn't that look bad for her business? Or do they just or is it just like, they just were beyond help?
Right. Well, yeah, that's kind of how what she's banking on, because 76-year-old for one.
And at that time, that's
older. Faustina Seti, an unmarried spinster with no kids, has come to seek Leonarda's advice.
I see where she's going with this. Okay.
You see what she's thinking? So
she's got no dependence.
Right. Though Faustina, she's elderly, but she's never given up on finding love. She still is hoping. Yeah.
She is the opposite of Leonarda. She's very glass
hopeful.
Half full.
So she goes to Leonarda to help She's
going on the Golden Bachelorette.
Yes. Right. In Italy. Yes. Right. So she goes to Leonarda and she's like, can you make this happen to me? I need to find love, and Leonarda's magical. She can help her. So she decides, okay, she's the perfect victim. So she convinces herself she's actually helping Faustina, because Faustina was ridiculed and pitied in town for being a spinster. So she's actually, helping her out.
Yeah, I'm letting her down easy.
Yeah.
It's a mercy killing.
It's really, it's better she goes this way. Right. So on her next visit, Leonarda excitedly tells her, I found the perfect man for you. He is so excited to meet you. In fact, he's so excited, he wants to marry you right away. Immediately.
Red flag.
Yeah. And I think Faustina, she's like, okay, she put a spell on this man. Perfect. Yeah. She's overjoyed. She didn't question.
Don't you want to take a look at him first? Don't you want to have
he's got a dong. She's in. So
at this point, the bar is pretty low.
I mean, yeah, she's okay with whatever.
I'm 76. I'm not picky.
I got a few good years left. I just want to play with him. So, so Leonarda tells her, okay, well, I'm your go-between. I'll be arranging everything, and it has to happen this specific way or it won't work out. Spell will be broken. So Faustina cannot tell her friends or family that she's going on this trip to meet this man, because they'll interfere and ruin it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Of course.
But it's okay. It's okay to keep them from worrying too much. We're going to have Faustina write a series of letters so that they can be sent while she's gone so that her family knows everything is well. So she has her.
She's good at this.
She's figured it out. So she has her write these letters telling him of her great journey, her happiness, her new marriage. And Faustina can go ahead with her life's wish. All will be well. So Faustina is so thankful for Leonarda's help that she gave her whole life savings too. She's like, take everything. I'm so happy. I'm going to be married. I don't need money. So on the day she's to leave, Faustina shows up at Leonarda's shop early in the morning. She's nervous, but excited. So Leonarda's like, I get it. How about you have a glass of wine? We'll settle your nerves. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Faustina,
First thing in the morning.
In the morning.
Italians
it's
drink wine all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Italy. We're good. That's breakfast. That's like what you put in your cereal for breakfast. You don't need
5
milk.
o'clock somewhere. So it's all good.
So Faustina, she takes a few sips and she immediately becomes drowsy to the point where she's aware, but she's paralyzed.
Oh.
So she watches as Leonarda approaches her with an axe.
She couldn't just poison her?
No. She wants it done quickly. I know. So Leonarda, she tries to bring the axe down on the woman's skull, but she misses and buries it in Faustina's shoulder instead.
Oh.
And she's having to try to wiggle the axe free. It's like really in there. And Faustina can't move or say much. All she could do is groan.
Mm-hmm.
So Leonarda's like, okay, she's still alive. So she hits her a second time and it makes its mark right in the skull. But Faustina is still conscious and she's in pain. And it's bad. Like Leonarda did not expect this. She starts
She had
panic.
me. I thought she was smart. She had it well planned out. Like this is messy and horrible.
And that's what she thought too. So she's like, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So she's hacking away at Faustina, trying to end it.
God.
Quickly. Because she's like, hacking at her. So blood and flesh are going everywhere, floor to ceiling. She hadn't expected how bloody and horrifying and awful it would be, which, okay.
Yeah.
But all the same, she's like, okay, I got to take care of this. So she kills her, cleans up feverishly. She had learned at one time to butcher in the past. And she uses those skills to section off pieces of the body, which she hung from hooks for drying.
Oh, God.
I told you there were some gruesome spots.
It's a good thing she made her own soap and cleaning stuff because she had some serious cleaning to do.
Oh, and does she make some soap? Okay, so she drains and gathers all the blood, which she puts in the oven for drying. Didn't know this was a thing. The flesh she put in large pots, adding caustic soda to render the fat to be made into soap.
She did not.
So the end result had to be perfect according to these spell books, to be usable.
Okay.
Or the protection spell wouldn't work for her son. So when the blood dried, she mixed it with flour, sugar, chocolate, and eggs, and made a concoction into tea cakes.
Oh no.
Which are cupcakes. Yeah. So as for the
is this
soap
where red velvet came from?
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh my God.
This is so gross. This must have, so gross. And how did
nasty.
she know to do this? I'm sure the books told her, but.
Which just means someone else did it first.
Yes. So as for the soap making, something had gone wrong and the flesh and fat didn't render correctly. It was completely ruined and had to be disposed of. So this meant the spell wouldn't work and she would have to do it all over again.
No. No.
I know. It's like a horror movie. So in August of 1940, Leonarda, she chooses her next victim. This one's name is Francesca Soavi.
Can we just poison them this time, please?
I know. Let's just.
Do we have to go through this whole?
Oh, she has to go through this whole thing. So Francesca's a school teacher. She's a respected member of society. She had recently been widowed and she'd given up her job to try to help her ailing husband before he died. So she had to give up her job just to help him. And then once he does pass, she's now alone and poor and no job.
Oh boy. Okay. So again, doing her a favor.
She has a terrible life.
I'm helping you out.
I'm helping. Yeah. So Francesca's younger. She approaches Leonarda to help her find a job. She's like, I need a job. I hear you're great at getting things. So Leonarda comes back to her a couple days later. She's like, I found you the perfect thing. It's a teaching position at a swanky girls' school in another town. However, the job is going to be gone like that if we don't get to work immediately on getting you this.
Yeah,
so
we got to jump on this. Yep.
Yeah. So the job will be yours. It's guaranteed with the spell I have, but you have to write letters to your friends to tell them about your new job and happy new life. And I'll deliver them to you, to your friends once again, when you're gone, because they'll interfere otherwise. So Francesca's like, yes, everything Leonarda says, it's been reliable. Everyone recommends her. She's
Right.
going to follow the directions to the T. So on the day she's to leave for her new job, she arrives early at Leonarda's shop. Leonarda's like, here, have this glass of wine.
Have a glass of wine. I need a glass of wine now. Oh my God.
I need so much wine. Fran immediately gets sick. She goes half conscious. She can hear Leonarda going through her belongings and she's powerless. She cannot move and realizes something's wrong.
Okay.
Then Leonardo sets these large wash tubs by her on the floor. And then she sees Leonardo come back with an axe.
Oh God.
This time Leonardo's a little more prepared. So she's more precise with her blows. Fran dies pretty quickly.
Wow, I'm so glad that she learned from her mistakes.
Yeah, she's getting better. So once again, she goes about butchering the body. This body, she's happy to see, has a healthy layer of fat, which the former
I'm so
hadn't.
glad for her.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
So Leonardo must have thought, okay, that must have been the problem with the first one. The lady was too old, didn't have enough fat. So
yeah,
So, by the way, with those first tea cakes, she sold those to be eaten, and they were
And people ate them?
delicious. People ate them.
Oh God.
She repeats the
Okay.
process she'd done previously. However, something didn't work, and the soap didn't happen again. But the tea cakes are still good. And
God.
Leonardo makes Giuseppe eat a bunch of the cakes, hoping that at least they'll give him some protection. And then she gives him these buckets full of sludge that are left over of the bodies and says, hey, throw these in the septic tank.
Well,
he didn't know what, he probably thought it was shit or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Or failed attempts at soap, which it was. So
God.
she goes back to the drawing board. She decides to choose someone very different from the previous two. Okay, maybe this will work because it's totally different. So Virginia Cassiopo, maybe, was the closest to a celebrity their small town had. She had been a former opera singer who had performed in major cities. And now she's widowed and retired, but she holds herself with an air and is respected in town and admired by all.
Is she plump? She
has
a layer of fat.
She does have a very good layer of fat. Yes.
Oh,
so
she's
I feel like
beautiful. We're talking like
like at an auction, a cow auction or something. No.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
where he takes the
Buffalo Bill. Yeah.
Right. He takes the overweight women and then skinnies them down so he can
use the skin.
Yeah, God.
So Virgin's beautiful. She's talented and rich. And that would be helpful to Leonarda. Virginia is actually one of Leonarda's best friends.
No, come on.
Yeah. They're both popular. They run in the same circles. They go to parties together. It's one of her best friends.
Really? There wasn't somebody else?
Yeah, but Leonarda's a little upset with Virginia because Virginia had decided she was going to move away to a bigger city, leaving this little town and Leonarda herself behind. So she took it as a slight that her friend would leave her. So Virginia comes to Leonarda for help one time. She needs help finding a job at this new town she's going to go to. And she wants to go back to a classy life like she had before, kind of glamorous. So Leonarda says, okay, a couple days later, come back. I'll have something for you. Mm-hmm. She tells her, I found you the perfect job. It's a high society event planning job in Florence. So Virginia's like, hell yes, tell me what to do. Go write letters. Don't tell anyone about this.
Right.
And on September 30th of 1940, Virginia shows up at Leonarda's shop. At first, she's repeatedly refuses the wine. She does not want that shit. Do not give me the wine.
Right. I don't drink before 9 a.m.
How dare you? It's only 5. Leonarda finally convinces her to take a couple sips. I need you to do this as part of the ritual. Okay. So she does. And it immediately makes her sick. Leonarda kills her in the same way as the others and steals all this fabulous jewelry off of her body.
Oh, God. Okay.
This time, friend. Best friend. This time, Virginia's flesh is fat and white and looks delicious.
Oh, gross.
So while she melts it, Leonarda adds.
I can't believe you just said that. While she melts it.
I mean, it's a recipe type thing. She adds cologne, and after hours of boiling, a gorgeous, creamy soap results. She gives this perfect soap to friends, neighbors, acquaintances. And the tea cakes came out even better than any before. Everybody raved about these amazing cakes.
Oh, God.
And Leonardo said that Virginia was truly sweet from the inside out.
Oh, that's terrible.
Fucking disgusting.
Oh, my God.
So one major way that Virginia differed from the victims before her was that she had a lot of family and they would not stop looking for her. Oops.
Oh,
they
didn't like the letters. They didn't like the letters. That wasn't enough, huh?
No, it wasn't enough. So to complete the spell, to protect Giuseppe, he had to wash every inch of his body with the soap.
Oh, God.
And
gross.
afterwards, at this point, he doesn't question anything. His mom's into all this woo-woo stuff, and he's just like, okay,
whatever.
Okay,
I gotta use the smelly soap. Got it.
Yeah.
What else?
She tells him afterwards, dry off, eat as many of these tea cakes as you can.
Oh, God.
And he's like, these are the best yet. Seriously, they all said they were just amazing. So thinking she's finally finished the spell, she's covered her tracks. Everything's going to be fine. The curse is broken. She sighs.
Yeah, we got
this. A sigh of relief. Yeah. However, Virginia's sister-in-law soon comes knocking, looking for her. Leonarda is shocked when the sister-in-law says, yeah, I need to know about the job that Virginia got. And Leonarda's like, she told somebody. I told her not to fucking tell anyone.
Right. She wasn't supposed to say anything.
Yeah, so she's pissed. She pretends to know nothing. And what? I don't know what you're talking about. However, the sister-in-law's not giving up. She's like, something's wrong. Something is off. So she goes around town asking for info. She finds out that 2 other women had gone missing before Virginia, and those 2 women had also last been seen at Leonarda's shop, just like Virginia. So
she should have just told her. She should have been, it's like, it's in Florence. You'll have to go there. I don't know if something happened to her after she left.
Right.
I mean,
I was just helping her out.
I sent her on her merry way. I don't know what happens when she gets there.
Yeah. So authorities, they're informed. They bring Leonarda in for questioning. She doesn't cooperate much. So they decide, okay, we have the letters. We're going to inspect these letters. They find they're all similar, say about the same thing. And then the biggest indicator of something awry is that every single one of them had been mailed by Giuseppe. And I don't know how they knew that. Like maybe they had to hand stamp whoever mailed it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you probably went, to the post office yourself?
And so maybe you had your own stamp and it had to be I don't know, but
I don't know. Well, if there's only like 1 or 2 people that work at the post office and they're
going to
know everybody in town.
Oh, yeah. Giuseppe brought all of these.
Yeah. I don't know.
So for police, they're like, well, a woman wouldn't kill all these people. So Giuseppe must have done it.
Oh.
So Leonardo shits her pants and she hears they're after her favorite miracle baby and she runs to confess. So initially they're like, yeah, right. They don't believe her confessions. They tell her to fuck off.
Would you like a cake?
Try this. So Leonarda saying basically, she's like, okay, bring me a dead body, a fresh body from the morgue, and I'll show you how I did it. And they were like,
what?
Yeah. And so she explains to them how they did it. And so that's kind of intriguing, but still they're like, well, so she's like, okay, well, you could also check my septic tank because the sludge that's in there. So they finally
bones.
So they're finally like, okay, we believe you. So she's arrested and jailed. Giuseppe disowns his mom. But right. But Leonarda, she doesn't care because she's like, I saved his life. That's all I wanted to do.
Alive.
He's alive. Now the curse is broken.
As long as he's alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So she waited 6 years for a trial at which she's found guilty. I know, not quick trials.
No.
She's found guilty and convicted of murder. She's sentenced to 30 years in prison and then 3 years in an insane asylum. Do you remember hearing that?
Why does that sound familiar?
Was there a psychic that told me?
I kind of feel like it was like, should be the opposite. Like she should spend 30 years per person in the insane asylum.
Right.
Anyway.
Totally. But she's like, this is exactly what the psychic told me, so it came true.
Again, self-fulfilling
I
prophecy.
mean, yeah,
What you
she brought
did
it on
was
herself.
Shit crazy,
Right.
lady.
So
You made
but-
soap and cake out of people.
So Leonarda, she's actually joyfully served her sentence.
Joyfully.
That's what they said. She didn't mind it because it was so easy compared to how her life had been. And for her worries were erased. She didn't have any more sicknesses because her worries were gone. Her seizures
Get me
stopped.
in here.
Yeah, her seizures stopped. Everything. While in custody, she became very well known for her sweets that she would make. But the jailers
people
would
eat
not.
them?
Well, the jailers wouldn't. I think the other people in jail did. Inmates,
they were desperate, but
the jailer's like, I'm not eating that shit.
Yeah,
I don't trust what might be in there.
Yeah, we know how you bake stuff. We're not gonna. Yeah.
So she died in September 15th of 1970. She had written a memoir entitled An Embittered Soul's Confessions. But it wasn't published and said to be nearly impossible to find even in native Italian. Her other 3 kids were said to have changed their names to distance themselves from her. Yeah. As for her husband, Raphael, poor fucking Raphael.
Oh my God.
Dude. He sank into alcoholism and died at an unknown date.
I mean,
this poor guy. He sounds like such a good guy. I know.
Wow. He's the one who got cursed, man.
He did. He sounds like such a sweet guy. So as for Giuseppe, he'd been deployed to North Africa to fight for the Axis during the World War, but that's all that's known of him. So it is possible he might have died at war. Yeah, several of the tools that Leonarda used on her victims are on display at the Museum of Criminology in Rome.
No, they're not.
There are. Leonarda had also written a cookbook for sweets, cakes, and cookies, which, so there's this famous cook over there in Italy. Currently, she actually was like an engineer and all sorts of amazing things, but she has a cooking show. And to this day, she uses this cookbook in her cooking show. And her name is Anna Moroni.
No.
I don't know what the recipe. I kind of want to check out what the recipes are. I don't think they call for blood. Let's hope. But
what?
There's also a dark comedy play about Leonarda called Love and Magic in Mama's Kitchen. Well, and I wish, this play, this Love and Magic in Mama's Kitchen, I wish it was still. It was first produced in 1979 and ran on Broadway in
really
the 80s at some point. But I'm like, why isn't it? It sounds amazing. It would be such a good musical. Anyway, so that is the story.
Okay,
the curse.
Crazy.
Is there anything more 13 than curses? And
that was, oh my God.
And it's crazy because you go through feeling bad for her, but then what the fuck?
Yeah, every evil villain has a backstory.
Yeah, that's her origin story.
You can trace where it all went wrong.
Yeah,
and it started the day she was born.
Absolutely. And they call her the soap maker of Caravaggio or whatever. So I know.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know what? When you started this episode, I did not know where you were going with it. And I never would have guessed.
I know.
Wow.
No, but that's why I had to start from the very beginning so you could see wow.
She descended into madness.
Oh, horrible. Yeah. So did you want to hear my sources?
Please. My God.
So the best is this book. And this writer has a ton of these true crime books she writes. And I need to check them all out. The writer is Genoveva Ortiz. And this one was volume 6 of True Crime Explicit of her books. The true story. Oh, wait, it's called The Deadly Soap Maker of Correggio, the true story of Leonarda Cianciulli, a superstitious mother who turned victims into soaps and cakes.
Wow.
Really good book.
Did you read the whole book?
I read the whole thing. It's not huge. It's 90 some pages. So it's not bad. Wikipedia, of course, a BBC article titled Sodium, Getting Rid of Dirt and Murder Victims.
Wait,
because she used some sort of sodium the caustic soda.
Yeah, we just had a discussion about lime.
Yes.
Now we're talking about
caustic soda. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Museocriminologico.it, because it's Italian. I had to have it translated, which was awesome that they could do that online now. And a web archive of an article from Time magazine called A Copper Ladle from June 24th of 1946. Oh, and one more. horroresrevelados.wordpress.com.
Oh my God.
But yeah, they have her copper ladle and all this other stuff that she used.
Okay,
Anyway.
no, that was good.
Crazy.
That was a great way to kick off season 13.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of ODFM. ODFM is hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Editing and production is by Kelly DeVries. Theme music is by Eric Swanson. For images from each episode and more, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok with the handle ODFM Podcast. For video episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching for ODFM Podcast. If you are looking for more content, chances at prizes and more, become a Patreon fan at patreon.com/ODFM Podcast. Subscribing to our Patreon is a great way to help us get better equipment, and our big goal is to hire an editor someday, so your contribution could really make a difference. If you can't give monthly, there are other ways you can help. Share us with your true crime friends. Word of mouth goes a long way. Or you can give us a one-time contribution through buymeacoffee.com/ODFM podcast. We appreciate your support, and someday we hope to make ODFM our main jobs with your help.